My name is Simone Shine, and today I will be conducting a risk assessment for the chemical known as lead. Before we begin, it is important to know what exactly lead is. Lead is a metal. In the periodic table, it is represented by the symbol Pb and atomic number 82. Now that we know what lead is, let's talk about where lead may be found and used. Lead can be found in many different places within the environment. Lead can be found in the air, water, or even in your home. The compounds of lead could be found in commonly used products such as batteries, paints, and gasoline. We may be exposed to lead in the household, from industrial sources, or on the job where use of lead is common, such as for renovators. In summary, there are countless places you could be exposed to lead. Next, let's discuss routes of exposure for lead. A few routes of exposure for lead include inhalation, ingestion, dermal, and endogenous. The two most common routes of exposure are inhalation and ingestion. Lead can be ingested through contaminated food, water, or chipped paint. And for inhalation, examples of lead absorption might be during times of renovation or smoking. Next, let's talk about what happens once lead enters the body. Once lead enters the body, the level of absorption might depend on your age or how well your body dissolves the lead. For children, lead is absorbed at a much higher rate compared to adults. After lead is absorbed, it is distributed to 3 compartments: your blood, soft tissue such as the liver, and mineralizing tissue such as your teeth. Lead is stored and may accumulate over time in the teeth and bones. According to the CDC, over your lifetime, lead accumulates and is slowly released from the body. Lead is mostly excreted through urine, and smaller amounts are excreted through feces and sweat. Next, we will discuss the toxic effects. Lead can be very harmful to the body, especially for vulnerable populations such as children and pregnant women. According to the EPA, lead can affect almost every organ and system in the body. Lead can cause increased blood pressure, chance of hypertension, harm the central nervous system, lower your kidney function, and cause issues for reproducing in men and women. For pregnant women, lead can cause harmful effects on the developing fetus's size, organs, or behavior. Additionally, the mother might be at risk of losing the baby completely. Now that we have discussed how harmful lead can be, you might be thinking, okay, how are we regulating it? As we talked about before, lead comes from many sources such as the water, air, and in paint. For every source of lead, we have implemented regulations to reduce the chance of harmful effects. For example, with paint, lead-based paint has been banned and can no longer be used in the home. The Lead-Based Paint Hazard Reduction Act of 1992 was created to help regulate the hazards of lead-based paint. Lead found in water has been regulated through acts such as the Clean Water Act. The Clean Water Act keeps people from releasing lead through a source of pollution into a water anywhere in the United States, unless you have a National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System permit. And finally, lead in the air has been regulated under the Clean Air Act. The EPA made national ambient air quality standards for industrial facilities to follow. These standards limit the amount of lead they can emit into the air. And lastly, here are my references.